Mephedrone, or Meow Meow, promises the euphoric peak of a party night, compressed into a single line. It works by forcing your brain to release a large amount of serotonin and dopamine at once, creating an intense but short-lived rush. For about 30 minutes, you feel a wave of empathy and confidence. Music sounds richer, conversations feel deeper, and you feel connected to everyone around you. But this artificial peak has a cost. As your serotonin levels fall, anxiety and a strong craving to redose can take over. This is the Mephedrone trap. You spend the night chasing a feeling that gets weaker with every line, while the strain on your heart increases. The promise of a perfect night can end in a desperate chase, leaving your brain temporarily depleted and your body under considerable strain. 2C-B offers the allure of a controllable psychedelic trip, visuals without the mental chaos of LSD. It primarily stimulates the 5-HT2A serotonin receptors, which play a key role in visual perception. After a phase of physical side effects such as nausea or inner restlessness, still objects may appear to leave motion trails in the air. Colors can become unnaturally vivid, and surfaces may seem to crawl with intricate patterns. Unlike stronger psychedelics, your mind often remains surprisingly clear. You can hold a conversation, aware that what you're seeing isn't real. But this clarity is fragile. A slightly higher dose can tip the balance, turning fascinating visuals into a state of sensory overload. The promise of a controllable trip is a tightrope walk where a few milligrams separate a beautiful light show from a state of overwhelming panic. GHB, or gamma-hydroxybutyrate, promises the clean, social lubrication of alcohol without the hangover. It enhances GABA, the brain's primary inhibitory neurotransmitter, which is why you feel relaxed and uninhibited. Within 20 minutes, a warm, gentle euphoria can wash over you. Anxiety may dissolve and you can feel socially fluent and confident. But the dose that creates this state is dangerously close to the one that causes unconsciousness. The difference between feeling good and significant respiratory suppression can be very small. A tiny bit too much, and you can black out without warning, slipping into a state where breathing may slow to unsafe levels. The promise of a perfect social lubricant can end in a silent medical emergency. 25-INBOME, often sold as fake LSD, promises a cheap and intense psychedelic experience. It's a powerful synthetic that binds to serotonin receptors with extreme potency. But this potency is its greatest danger. The amount of active chemical on a single blotter tab can vary wildly from a manageable dose to a lethal one. The trip itself is often described as cold and chaotic, with aggressive visuals and a jarring body load. Your heart can pound, your blood pressure can spike, and a sense of paranoia may set in. The real danger, however, is the dose you can't see. In some reported cases, a single tab has been associated with severe medical emergencies, including seizures or cardiac events. The promise of a cheap trip carries a serious and unpredictable risk. PCP, or phencyclidine, offers a profound escape, a complete detachment from your body and reality. It's a dissociative anesthetic that blocks NMDA receptors, effectively altering the connection between your mind and your physical senses. The experience is often described as feeling like you're watching your life from a distance. Pain, fear, and physical limitations can seem to disappear. This is why users can appear to have unusual strength. They may not register injuries, but this detachment from pain is also a detachment from self-preservation. Users have been known to inflict serious injuries upon themselves without realizing it. The promise of a total escape from reality can lead to a situation where you are a danger to yourself. Dextromethorphan, or DXM, promises a legal, accessible psychedelic trip, hidden in plain sight in over-the-counter cough syrup. At high doses, it acts as a dissociative, blocking NMDA receptors in a similar way to PCP and ketamine. The experience is often called robo-tripping, because movements can feel stiff and mechanical. Your mind can feel distant from your body, and the world may take on a dreamlike, distorted quality. But the syrup that promises a cheap trip comes with a heavy price. The come-down can be a thick, cognitive sludge that lasts for days, and heavy long-term use has been linked to significant cognitive impairment. The promise of an easy escape can lead to a slow, difficult recovery. Nitrous oxide, or laughing gas, promises a fleeting moment of harmless fun, a 30-second burst of euphoria and dissociation. It works by blocking NMDA receptors, creating a brief, giggly detachment from reality. You inhale from a balloon, and for a moment, sound can warp, and everything may seem hilarious. Then, just as quickly, you're back. But this seemingly harmless high has a cumulative effect. Frequent heavy use can inactivate your body's supply of vitamin B12, a crucial nutrient for nerve function. Over time, this can lead to neurological damage, including numbness in your hands and feet and difficulty walking. The promise of a quick laugh can slowly and silently impact your ability to move. Salvia divinorum promises a brief but intense journey into another dimension. It's a unique psychedelic that activates kappa-opioid receptors, a system involved in pain and perception. The experience is not typically euphoric. Instead, it's a bizarre, disorienting trip where the boundaries of the self can dissolve. Users report feeling like they've merged with inanimate objects, like a chair or a wall, or being pulled into a strange, alternate reality. For 5 minutes, you can be completely gone, with little awareness of your body or your surroundings. The danger isn't the drug itself, but the potential for accidents during this loss of control. People have been known to fall or injure themselves during those few minutes of total dissociation. The promise of a trip to another reality can end in a painful collision with this one. 5-MeO-DMT promises a profound spiritual experience, a direct encounter with the divine. Extracted from the venom of the Sonoran desert toad, it's one of the most powerful psychedelics on Earth. It floods serotonin receptors with such intensity that the ego, your sense of self, can be completely obliterated. There are no visuals, no journey, just an instantaneous dissolution into what some describe as an infinite white light. For a few minutes that feel like an eternity, you can cease to exist. The experience is often described as a total merger with the universe. But this obliteration of the self can be terrifying. The return to reality is an abrupt, confusing reassembly of your identity, which can be profoundly destabilizing. The promise of a spiritual awakening can feel like an intensely destabilizing experience. Ibogaine promises a miracle, a cure for addiction. It's a long-acting psychedelic used in some clinics to interrupt opioid dependence. The experience is a grueling 36-hour ordeal, a feverish stream of consciousness where you are forced to confront your past. It's not a pleasant trip, but an introspective confrontation with your life's choices. But the promise of a cure comes with a significant risk. Ibogaine is cardiotoxic, meaning it can cause fatal cardiac arrhythmias, even in healthy individuals. In rare cases, it has been linked to severe cardiac complications. The promise of a second chance at life carries a serious medical risk that requires careful supervision. Kratom promises a safe, natural alternative to opioids, a plant that can provide energy, pain relief, and a gentle euphoria. Its active compounds bind to the same opioid receptors as morphine, but with less intensity. At low doses, it acts as a stimulant. At higher doses, it becomes a sedative, wrapping you in a warm, heavy blanket of calm. But the natural label is misleading. Your brain doesn't distinguish between a plant and a lab. Chronic use can lead to physical dependence, and withdrawal may resemble that of other opioids, including sweating, muscle aches, and anxiety. The promise of a safe alternative can lead to unexpected dependence. Phenibut promises a life without anxiety. Developed to help Soviet soldiers remain calm under pressure, it's a GABA-B agonist that reduces social fear without sedation. For a few hours, you feel effortlessly confident and articulate. But the brain adapts quickly. Tolerance builds in a matter of days, and you need more to achieve the same effect. If you try to stop, the anxiety can return with a vengeance, far worse than before. The withdrawal can be severe, leading to seizures and prolonged states of intense anxiety. The promise of a life without fear can leave you struggling with significant psychological distress.